So Democrat comedian Bill Maher warning the party about their own demise if they give socialist Zohran Mamdani a victory.
Do you think that he would have the power and influence to be able to, like, usher in socialism?
He definitely has the power and influence to elect J.D. Vance or whoever is the Republican candidate next time. It is a walking commercial for the Republican Party nationally.
The Republicans are going to...
When you let the Democrats, socialists, and now they're actually calling themselves socialists, when you let them take over a major American city, this is what you get.
Wow. Our next guest agrees and has a plan for New Yorkers looking to escape the Big Apple, telling them the Buckeye State is waiting for you. Ohio gubernatorial candidate Vivek Ramaswamy joins us now. Good morning, Vivek.
Good morning.
Yeah, so the Democrats have a problem. They have these young, inspirational candidates that diagnose a lot of the problems very well, but their solutions are asinine and anti-American.
Well, look, I think the key answer right now is it about socialism or capitalism? That's the choice. It's a fork in the road for the future of the country. And it's not just about one candidate in New York who represents the socialism wing. You look at the rise of Fateh in Minneapolis. They call him the Mamdani of Minneapolis. You see trends coming up across the country. There's a deep fissure in the Democratic Party where a lot of their bases, unfortunately, is in electing socialism over capitalism. Now, my advice to Republicans across the country is this is our chance to actually offer an alternative vision, to make the case for why free enterprise, why capitalism is the best system known to the history of man to lift people up from poverty, to stand for common sense, opposing the defund the police movements that have resulted in a violent wave of crime across our cities, including even in my own home state of Ohio. This is a special opportunity for us as Republicans to really show not just what we're against, but what do we actually stand for? And if we nail that, the contrast could not be more evident for the next decade in our country.
But Vivek, it has to be two-pronged. Yes, some people will move to Ohio, move to my home state of Texas. But there are some people, they can't move. And so the offer has to be in different states, different cities. But you also need Republicans and conservatives fighting where the war is happening, like in New York. There has to be an alternative message there, too, right?
Absolutely. I mean, look, it's personal to me. I was born and raised in Cincinnati. I live in Central Ohio today and running for governor here. But I lived a decade of my life in Manhattan. It is one of America's great cities, is New York City. We can't watch the great cities, and from New York to California, flounder if we're going to be one nation still pursuing a leadership position, a shining city on a hill for the world. New York City is an important part of that. So I do hope a lot of New Yorkers wake up even for the sake of New York. Now that exodus, that ability to freely travel, to move to other states, is something that holds states like New York and California accountable as well. It's what our founders envisioned. That's what federalism is all about. But I do think a lot of people in New York are going to unfortunately wake up to the effects of socialism. The well-intentioned so-called solutions to a housing crisis are actually going to make that very affordable crisis worse for the people they were supposedly trying to help. I don't want to see that play out over the next 10 years. I think Republicans have an important role to play, Lawrence. And I mean this for the Republican Party. The Democrats have their own loss in the wilderness to figure out. But for the Republican Party, the question is, are we offering an alternative vision that we actually stand for when it comes to fighting crime, when it comes to not only lower taxes, but improving affordability for everyday working Americans? And if we do that, that's our part that's actually going to help save the country. That's where we've got to be focused from New York to Ohio to California.
So let's talk about that alternative vision, because you're born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio. One of the victims there said that she suffered traumatic brain injuries there. We all saw the video of what took place there. More facts are emerging about that case. But you're doing a town hall because there was that situation, but there's an overall violence problem in Cincinnati. What do you think this town hall is going to resolve?
So, look, I got to tell you, after that incident a little over a week ago, and I got to say I spoke to that victim, Holly, several times, including as recently as yesterday. I'm grateful she's gradually recovering. But this is not about that one incident. This is about a pattern of really people feeling fearful of entering their city. And again, it hits home to me because Cincinnati is my hometown. To see Cincinnati in the national news in that light really hurts. And I think we need a change in leadership at the top, including the tone that we set even from our state, to be able to say we're not tolerating this kind of violent crime. This isn't a Democrat versus Republican issue, Lawrence. This is about common sense. Too many Americans and too many people in Cincinnati don't even feel safe to go into their own home city. I don't think sweeping these issues under the rug is a solution. A lot of people would have preferred me to just continue to move on. I say, no, we got to talk about it in the open, because this issue of urban crime, it is politically incorrect in some circles. I don't care about political correctness. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the city of Cincinnati. We're going to be there tonight at 5:30 p.m. We're inviting residents from across the spectrum. I don't care whether you politically agree with me or not. Let's talk about in the open, how are we addressing this wave of violent crime in our cities across the country, including right here at home in Cincinnati. We want solutions. And I don't care if you're a Democrat, independent, or anything else. If you're committed to fighting violent crime in Cincinnati, if you're committed to making sure Cincinnatians feel safe in their city, we're going to be on the same team tonight. It's a bit of an experiment. We'll see how it goes. But in my experience, the open dialogue has usually worked well to bring people together. That's what we're going to try to do tonight.
Well, it's the right message, because you're actually going to the heart of the problem. And Republicans can't win unless they go there and fight for the ideas, offer a different solution than what the other side is proposing. Vivek, good luck in your race. We'll be following it.
Thank you, my man.
You got it. So, President